Oh, I'm live on YouTube now. Okay, I didn't realize I hit live. Alright, I am live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. I got two phones going. Whoop whoop. Into the woods to gift the squatch. Oh. Let's see. This has changed a little bit. Got a little thicker since the last time I've been here. Just drooped down a little bit. I am inside of a teepee structure, actually. You see, around structures, they do triangles on the ground. I am actually inside. Oh, I just broke a stick in here. Sorry. I'm inside of a teepee structure right here. Now I'm on the outside of it. Let me scan. All right. Let you sit. Look how huge that is. It goes all the way up there. I can't even reach. Okay. I'm gonna switch lighting. I broke my headlamp last time I was out here. The plastic snapped off where it connects to the head mounting piece. So I gotta order a new headlamp. But that's no big deal. Hey, TikTok side. We got David, how's it going? E-Rob, hey, how's it going? YouTube side, Tarla Bear, what's up? Suspicious Guys, what's happening? What is up? Don't forget to squatch that like. If you're on TikTok, smash that heart. All right, through here, a bunch of bats live in this part. Yeah, they're in here. Hear them flapping around, chirping. Actually, what we're doing, I'm gonna go drop this bag of apples down here at the gifting spot for the Sasquatches. Watch my footing. Yeah, so I don't want to trip on that. For people who don't live around here, it is 3:17 a.m. Hey, Blanky, what's up? EDNTU, what's up? See, I got two separate live streams going simultaneously. I have one on YouTube going and I have one on TikTok going. We get through here. This is pretty thick right here. That bat got close. There's what we just went through. I had to crouch down to get through it, and I'm only 5'4", a little dude. That clanking is my, I have these on my hands. We have wild animals out here. There's bear out here, coyote, and I don't bring pew-pews with me. So if an animal were to try to attack me, I have claws, I have blades on me, but no pew-pew. Homie, don't play that. Oh, thank you for the gift. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Sorry, guys, if I lose track of the chats, it's because I have to keep my guard up when I'm down here. Like, I have to watch everything around me. You know, this isn't like being in the middle of a city going to a park. This is cows outnumber people out here. Wow, this came all down too. That was another entrance I had to get down in here. me smack this tree, give a location indicator that I'm here. Hopefully my things don't clank. You're dealing with cryptids such as sasquatches. One knock is a location beacon. That's saying, hey, I'm here. This is where I'm at. Sometimes you'll get a return knock from a different location. And that's them replying back to you saying, hey, I'm over here. And I just figure it out. Now, there's something unique about this area here. You see this goes down in tiers, right? Let me decline. Sorry, I don't have people come up on my live with me on TikTok side. So you know, I'm in the woods. I gotta be focused. I'm not having people up on a secondary screen. I apologize if it inconveniences you or get hurt. You know, don't be upset. But you see how the trees here fall uphill? We had a bad storm yesterday, but this was down before the storm. But you see down there, trees here fall uphill, not downhill. Isn't that irregular? People keep trying to get in on the thing on the TikTok side. Nope. We look at the chats. Suspicious guys. Decline. All right. Here's where my camp area is. Right down there. Wow, TikTok side. People keep trying to get in on here. I am not having guests on while I am in the woods. Please quit trying to get me to invite you in. And we don't play that. I do not need distractions. All right, I'm gonna do my call and see if I can get a return call. So what you're gonna hear is gonna be me using my call here. Normally I have to cup it with two hands, but my hands are kind of full at the moment. So. See if I get a response. Hey, TikTok guys, y'all are new to me. If you want to get a better background on what goes on here, you check out my YouTube channel. I have over 900 videos on there. There's deer down there. That's a deer that I shine, if you even see it. Yeah, I see you. Hello, deer. All right, let me get down this. These hills suck. Backwoods, Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's a deer down there. There's a V tree. Now, whenever I do calls and whatnot, ooh, that looks like a front going uphill in the leaves. I let you know when I'm doing my calls, because sometimes people will hear and they'll think that it's something out in the woods and it's not. Just like sometimes when you get channels, they'll try to fool you with eye shine tricks, like right up there. That's a property. Okay, let me There's a property over there, and that's a street light up through there. Whenever the trees are all bloomed in, you don't see that lights. But I want to clarify that so it's not mistaken as a source of eye shine. I'm straight up about that stuff. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I have a bag of apples here. I'm gonna set these apples up on my gifting table. And after I set these apples up and I set their toy back up, because obviously their toy is moved, as always. They have a big Kong toy they play with down here. After I set their apples out, I come to this down tree and that rock right there. I did have a squatch knocker, but they took it. And then when I got it back, it was cracked. And if I use it, it's gonna snap. And that thing's made of solid Australian oak. So I'm gonna take this rock on this branch, on this down tree, and I'm gonna hit it 2 times after I set their apples up. Now, when you're dealing with the Sasquatch species, people always hear tree knocks in the woods, and it's a form of communication. As I stated a little bit ago, one single knock is saying, this is where I'm at, this is my location. When you get 2 knocks, that's saying here's food over here. That's the dinner bell. So 2 knocks is like a dinner bell. For those who are joining me the first time, if you don't know, I'll give you a little bio. I've been interacting in the same spot with the same clan for over 18 years now. I have been gifting bi-weekly. Now, when I say bi-weekly, I mean I'm going out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's 3 days in a row. Normally not during weekdays, but we had a tornado back home, so we came out here. There's no power, and they said we ain't gonna have power for like a week. So I brought them. I'm gonna bring some apples out here. Leaving the bag and all. There's some apples that ain't that good in here. I'm gonna chuck those ones like these. This crappy looking apple here. I'll get rid of that. Roll that down the hill. Oh, it ain't no good. This one's getting a little pruny looking. That one ain't good. All right. Ooh, that one looks nasty. I'll get that out of there. And where's that? This one here don't look good either. No, not that one. That's a good one. For the record, when I come back and check, this is already opened. Normally I don't open the bags. I let them open them themselves. That way, whenever I come back to check the gift spot, I look at the way the bag was opened to make sure it isn't like teeth marks, you know, like a raccoon or anything of that nature. And you'll see is like when these bags here, when they open them, the tear marks, you can see the finger grooves in them. You can tell it was fingers that did it. They open things properly. Like if you leave them chocolates and stuff, they open them the right way. Now, anytime that I've had animal tracks come up to here, and this plate was tampered by an animal. This has happened a few times. 2 times I've actually taken photos. The one time it was a raccoon. He stole a little chocolate bar, and he made it. This is empty. I'm gonna put this bag in my pocket. You see, I'll leave things for him to look at. So, laminate them. And I leave things like this for him to look at. Like these are old petroglyphs and whatnot. I got maps of the celestial maps and shit. Try different ancient text writings with them. I've been trying to decode what type of language they would be from. Left them this pretty picture of space, and I left them that. There's a Sasquatch, Cephala, and I got me in the middle. I've left them these, but so we got Apple set up, and here's our Kong toy. Let me get him put up here for him. Got them up there. I would put the Barbie up, might as well. They broke her leg up. And there's no chew marks on it. It was literally snapped. When I first displayed it, I had him holding her. So I'll put that there. I'm going to go into town tomorrow. Probably stop at the Dollar Tree and grab a couple of those zoo figures. You know, like I want to find like a wolf or hey, what's up, Ryan? Catherine? Or a bear claw. I will leave maybe like ape primate toys and stuff like that. Things that resemble them, even though they're not really apes, but things that resemble their species. I like to leave them toys like that, and they actually play with them. I heard of something down that way, but I gotta stay focused on my task. So now I have this set up. Okay, this is good to go. I'm gonna come over here to the down tree, and I'm going to let them know that I had brought them a snack. So that's what we'll do. Oh, and the YouTube side, thanks CP that I'm going live on YouTube. I'm using 2 phones right now to record. I'm on a dual live. All right, so I'm going to do 2 knocks with this rock so they know I left them food. Oh, the rock broke. No, I'm going to sit here. If I was not live streaming, some people has been down there with me before knows if I'm not live streaming down here, I really don't use lights at all. I go in total darkness and let my eyes adjust and sit in total darkness to where the moonlight's coming down through and you can see like the grayish hue in between the trees. You know what I mean? That's what I like. But I heard something over that way. I have other field equipment with me, but we weren't going to come. But tornado hit our area, and we're out of power for 5 to 7 days. So we come out here. And because it was an unexpected turn of event, we didn't realize we were going to be coming out so early. My other equipment is not charged. So I don't have I have my night vision. I have my task cam. I don't have batteries for it. I got to pick up batteries tomorrow for it. And I got my SD cards, all that happy crap. I got a night vision device that I use for surveillance and full spectrum camera. I'm going to blow my David Leonard call. When they're here, this is the sound that they make. And David Leonard, he was watching my YouTube channel all the time, and then he makes game calls. So if you ever looking for a good game call, look up David Leonard game calls on. I hear Sonocephalus. I'm gonna howl real quick. Let me kill my lights. I'm sorry. You're gonna be sitting in the dark for a second. You'll see how dark it is in these woods. There we go. All right, I'm gonna give a little howl because I'm hearing Sonocephaly. And when you're out squatching, you know, everybody thinks everything's a Sasquatch. That's not true. They roll with other types of cryptid species, like the Wendays, which the Wendays are like your little people. Then you got your Sonocephala, which people call dogmen. Sonocephalae is the Greek term for them. But I'm going to do a howl because I'm hearing barks. Hearing stuff to the right of me. So now I'm setting this unit down for a second so I can utilize both hands to cut my game call. And now I'm going to do a call and see if it gets mimicked. Because what they'll do when I blow the call, if the Sasquatches are around, they will do the call back, and we will go back and forth until they get about 20, 30 feet away. And then they will cease to call back on me, and they will shake a tree instead. So let me blow the call. All right. Now I'm going to sound like a jackass. I'm going to start calling them by names. Chaka-ka-ka. Chaka. Chaka. Gizmo. Benny, Bunny, Big Black. Hola. Hola, Tanya, Rishal Mugura. Itali he. Hula Mama Alma. They call me Humama Alma. To my right, I am hearing footsteps that are bipedal. I'm going to keep my light off for a minute. Give them a chance to get in close. I apologize for people who are looking at the screen. They're like, oh, this sucks. But yeah, so. Chaka-ka-ka. Gizmo White. Benny, Bunny, Big Black. There are footsteps over that way. Now I'm hearing shit behind me. Let me get up. I was sitting on this dumb tree. For those of you who've seen my pictures I've been posting on TikTok, all my YouTube people seen the stuff already. When we had the white Sonocephalite, it was out in the open, and then there's a black one sitting behind a tree next to it. It was taken right there. Whoa, someone getting... No, ain't nobody getting in on my live stream. No, I don't invite. But that was taken right up there. At that time, the hammocks used to go over here. Mine went that tree to that tree. And then the dude that used to come down here with me, I called him Mr. Weasel. He tied his hammock from the skinny tree to that skinny tree. So my head was right here. His head was right here. I'm going to give you guys a little story. It's kind of funny. All right, we stuck these big sticks all through the ground along that ravine up there. And across the way, we loaded this down tree all up with vegetables and all kinds of shit. And I was laying in my hammock. I would have been right here. And I had a tarp over my hammock. And I was using night vision binoculars, and I was watching down there. Okay. I was hearing things running up in here. This big tree right here, I don't remember which one it was, but I think it was Benny, but he was behind this tree, okay? So let me walk over here. to give you Weasel's perspective of it. Now, he's right here. His feet of his hammock was tied off here. Head of his hammock tied off here. He's laying here. Oh, that what I just heard, that was a stick next to me. I stepped on it, it flipped some waves, and it rolled a little rock or something. That, if you heard that, that was nothing special. Like I said, I'm honest about things out here. Now, he was up here peeking around this tree, okay? It was funny as hell. Because I'm over here. He's right here where I'm standing, you know. The squatch was up here behind this tree, and he would hold on to this part up here. He was holding on to that, and he'd lean to the side, and he would let it tinkle. And the stream would come down, and you'd hear it hit the leaves down in here. And then he'd go back behind the tree. He leaned out again, let another out, and then it landed a little further up in here. And then the third time, he let it loose, and he let it go all over my friend. Like, literally. Because I was sitting in my hammock. I was like, dude, what's wrong with your kidneys, man? You shouldn't be peeing that much. And then I look over, and there he was up there hanging off the side, urinating on my friend. That was crazy. Then another time, I was over at this part of the camp. We had this fire pit here. We had this fire ripping, okay? His hammock, see, we got the guidelines. If I have guests over, I can put tarps up, sections, you know what I mean? In case it rains. Now, his hammock at this time was where that green line goes to that tree, and he tied his feet off on this tree where that green line is hanging. So his hammock was right there. Okie doke. His head was at that way, so he can view this way, whereas I was in my hammock. My head was up here, so I could watch this ridge line up here. All right. Now, to give you a little backstory, up there, a little further up that ridge, it's about right up in there, Chaka, who's a female squatch, she was in a prone position up there watching us, and we kept seeing her eye shine up there. And then he was like, dude, I don't want to base, I only got 2 battery bars left on my light. It's draining fast. So I'm going to shut my light off while I tell you guys a story. I heard that. Okay, so I got spooked for a second. I ain't gonna lie. So he's over here, I'm over here, and we had the fire going real big right here. So we was watching her eyes shine, and then I was like, he's like, dude, she's watching me. I think she likes me. I'm like, no, dude, I've been down here interacting for years. She's watching me to make sure you don't screw with me. He's like, nah. So we did an experiment. We both had 2-way radios. He walked off in this direction. I walked off to this direction. We were going to see who she would follow. She got up, and she came along this ridge line and followed me. I radioed back to him. She changed position. She pursued my flank. So let's regroup back at camp. We settled this. We know who she's watching now. So we get back to camp, and he's like, dude, do you think they would protect you? I was like, let's do an experiment. Stupidest thing I've ever done down here, and I'll never do it again. So I had a metal fire poker, and I don't even see it hanging on a tree no more. And I was like, all right, dude, pretend like you want me over the head with it when I count to 3. Stand behind me and pretend like you want me over the head. So I counted to 3. He swung it, and I slumped over my hammock. Okay. I slumped over this. So I was laying, and my field view, I'm setting the camera on this so you can see, my field view was like that. That's a street light up there. Don't be fooled. That is no eye shine. So I'm laying there, and she was back in the prone position at this point. Instead of getting into the squatting position and then getting up, she just straight up jumped up, and she was going up and down, like looking, kind of assess the situation. And then there was another one up there. It was the white one that I call the handler. And she started to come down. Excuse me, I didn't mean to burp. She started coming down the hill, but it grabbed her. Almost in a situation as if you're at a club or a bar or something, and someone's making you angry and you're ready to fight, and they're like, no, man, it ain't worth it. It was one of those deals. So whenever it stopped her, she let out this big bellow scream. I mean, it was like hellacious. It was, oh, I got one battery bar. My batteries are draining fast. So from this position over here, all this shit started flying into camp. There was a tire from the ravine, nuts, branches, anything these woods had to offer. Because he was standing at this time, he was standing right where I'm at right now. So I'm right here, he was right here, and the stuff was coming in. He put his arms up to cover his face and to protect himself. And when he did that, two were coming down on the other side of this tree line right here in a quad position. They were on all fours. They were tearing down the hill, coming down to flank him. They were going to rip him apart. So I jumped up. I was over here. I jumped up and I grabbed my glow sticks and I started waving them around and whooping. And I gave him a big hug and a noogie on his head. And to show that we were just playing. We're not being serious. Don't hurt my buddy, Everything stopped immediately. 3 hours ago. It was around 1 a.m. Here comes 4 o'clock, 4:30-ish. His head's at this end. My head's at that end, mind you, okay? This tree right here, Paula, she's a grayish white Cynocephala, dog man, or a woman, I should say. Came up behind this tree like this. She would peek around at him like that. Now I'm over there in my hammock watching this. I keep seeing this dog head poke around. And I'm like, Weasel, wake up. And he's just snoring. I'm like, come on, dude, you need to wake up. There's a big ass dog trying to look at you. He wouldn't wake up. So Fala proceeded to get down in the prone position. She got on all fours. She came up to this point here, all right, because you got your extra area before your hammock starts. She came down here and she got underneath of his hammock. I'm still trying to wake him up, calling his name, and he's just snoring. So then her head pops up. Like, we'll say, I'll come over my hammock, give an example. So the head would pop up, like, pop up and look down at him, but it was around his head area. And then her head would pop back down. She did that about 3 or 4 times. She kept peeking up on him and then going back underneath his hammock. Now, after the 3rd or 4th time peeking, I'm scanning my area. Sorry. Gotta watch my perimeter. I heard a whistle. You don't whistle at night. Bad juju. So, whenever she popped her head up the last time, she laid her head on his chest, like her ear. Now, this is creepy. It was like the Cynocephala was listening to his heartbeat. Like, it laid its head on his chest like it was listening to his damn heartbeat. Finally, he wakes up because she started sniffing up his chest like a dog would. And when she got to his cheek, you know how dogs do that wheezing exhale, like that kind of sneeze they do, that external sneeze? She did that in his face. And when that happened, he opened his eyes. Hey, I don't know, I can't read your language, but dude, I keep declining you to come in, and if you keep trying to join my live stream, I'm going to block you. Told you I don't have guests. I'm solo out here. I don't have guests. No, I'm not having you on my screen. Sorry, TikTok side. But whenever she exhaled on him and blew that sneeze, that doggish sneeze in the face. Hey, what's up, B? I haven't been looking at the chat. I'm sorry. Good night, Elder Bear Claw. Let's see, you're getting ready for bed. Oh, I just heard a tree smack over there. But when she did that, he opened his eyes and he did number one. And then look at this. And then her whole face curled up like some National Geographic shit. When you see wolves all angry on National Geographic when they showed her gums, her gum line from the top of her, where her roots of her teeth would be going into the gums, to the point of where it met the septum region, had to be the size of a G.I. Joe. I swear to God, I was like, my battery's almost dead on my light. That gap of gum was like 3.5 inches to 4 inches, all gum. And the face was completely wrinkled up. Like, that was the scariest shit you could ever imagine. And then I gotta turn my light back on. There's something up there, up in that tree. I saw it glare. So from down in here, so we're up here, right? Down in there, I might as well get off my butt and show you. Right down this hill, down in that thicket right there. Because I'm praying at this point, literally, I was praying to God, please don't eat my friend. From down here, you hear a squatch grunt. It was a kind of deal. And it was up here. It turned around and looked down here. Then it looked at me, looked back down at Mr. Weasel, showed its teeth at him and growled. Looked back down here again, looked at me, looked down at him, showed the teeth, looked up at me, and then her head went real slow back down to him. She showed her gums and all again to this real loud growl, and she touched the cheek, his cheek. She touched it with the tip of its tongue like it was tasting him. Then it looked back up at me and turned around and walked down here and joined that squatch that called it off. That's a true damn story. And I tell you, that was one of my scariest experiences down here. He refused to come down here after that for a while. Like, I'm like, hey, you want to come squatching? And he's like, oh, I'm going to the bar. It freaked him out, rightfully so. Batteries on my light are dying. I got one bar on my spotlight. I have to switch lights. This light sucks. Yeah, there's only like 2 people on TikTok side, so y'all know. Only my wife, Chulu Rose, will be on the side screen, or I will let Mr. Giggles in, because I will straight up let him talk out here with his Mickey Mouse and Elmo voices to them. I'm hearing chatter. What the fuck? Turn my lights off for a minute. My electronics are getting wonky. My spotlight battery is down to 1 bar. It should last like twice as long as what I've already been down here. And then this light started flicking. I don't know what's going on with that shit. Like, when you're dealing with cryptid species, for some reason they can manipulate your equipment. Your batteries will drain. If they touch your stuff, it'll never work again. It's like an EMP going through your equipment if they touch it. Another thing too, sometimes if they know you captured them on an SD card, they can wipe your card. It's almost like you take the old cassette tapes from the 1980s and you ran a magnet across it. Same deal. It's like, and when this happened, I had to pay like $80 for a program to unlock the card. and to refrag everything. And then it's like every time I've done that, it was like, there's the squatches or there's the son of syphilis. But the issue is like $80. I mean, that's yearly, but still, that's a lot of money just to see what's on a damn SD card. I'm going to look at the chat. I haven't been looking at it. Abnormal investigations on the YouTube side. What's cracking? I've got what I think were a couple of cool pics. Thank you, Tarla. See, I got a couple people on the mine who review my footage, and they screenshot the stuff for me and send it to me what they see. I know my batteries are done. I don't even have a headlamp on me, but I'm going this way. I keep hearing stuff this way.